This is an RNZ podcast.
Welcome to this week's episode of The Long Way Home. What an amazing journey it is evolving into. It's been an amazing journey from before the start, but having started and now being 1,200 kilometers into it, pretty gobsmacked actually that it really is happening. So here we are. Wellington has changed its personality again. Beautiful day down here on a Sunday beside Te Papa with the harbourside markets. Lincoln and I still sitting here chatting. I'm waiting for my bus to take me to the airport, to take me back to Auckland, have my little medical procedure, blah, de blah, de blah. And who's here but Goldie? And we last met Goldie at Tikuiti. And Goldie is the dude who sewed his own pack, yeah? And is walking the trail in bloody sandals. You are the hippest looking dude on Tauraroa, eh? So now you're just telling me, Goldie, about a little side trip. You know, this is the astounding thing about these TA trampers, folks. They come out here to walk the length of the country and then take little side trips. What was this side trip you just were telling me about?
Yeah, I'm from Austria and I don't get much ocean, so I really love to see the ocean. That's something I love about New Zealand. And I thought to myself, while I'm in New Zealand, why not try and go surfing a lot? Whenever I get the chance to go surfing, I'll do that. And actually walking down to here, I went surfing 4 times already. Once at the end of 90 Mile Beach in Ahipara, then once in Sandy Bay, which is near Haihia, Opua. And then I went to this, famous surf town that I've known about forever and I always wanted to go. Raglan. Yeah. It was so funny. I was walking on the highway out of Hamilton, and then there's this junction where you go up Mount Karongia. Yeah. I was gonna go left, and then I see the sign going to Raglan, and I thought to myself, man, this is no chance I'm not gonna go. This is meant to be. And starting the trail, I told myself, I have nothing to prove to myself. I'm not, my goal is not to walk every single step. My goal mainly is to just discover New Zealand. And I think the TA is the perfect way to do that. And and then I climbed Mount Taranaki.
In sandals with snow.
Yeah, in sandals. Well, I mean, I gotta say, I realized there that sandals are in general great for walking, but they're not good mountaineering shoes.
But what I'm loving too, and this is with you, Lincoln, a number of the TA people, I thought when I started TA that, it's all about, right, start at point A and get to point B, right, you go. Yeah. But everyone's taking their time going, you do the hard out sections and everything, and then you take your time. Like Goldie said, you're exploring the country, and you seem to be doing that, Lincoln, a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy long, hard days and even going a bit quicker than even people in my group, but that it means maybe at a waterfall or a swimming hole, I've got an extra couple of hours that I might spend there, or at dinner time, I've got some more time to put my feet up, and at towns, I've got a bit more time, and that's the sort of stuff I am enjoying. And talking to people. It's amazing how many times you might stop just on the side of the road talking to a farmer or somebody mowing their front lawn, and you've got an hour to talk to them until the rest of your group catches up. And these are just random people that not only love what we're doing, they love their country. I guess it's like they say, it's the journey, isn't it? Yeah. So I want to get to the bottom of the South Island, but I also want to have some fun along the way. Yeah.
Now segue over to here. Just Pippa, what the hell is that you were eating?
It's a salmon avocado bao sandwich. Highly recommend it.
That looks real. It looks like perfect post-trail food.
Yeah, totally.
So, Mac and Pippa, where are you from?
We're from Colorado, back in the U.S.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, just the short bit of conversation we've had, you sound like you're hard out trampers. Like you sound like you just advised me to maybe sidestep one of the more flat sections of the trail to go for a more up and down section of the trail.
It was a little bit more fun. We're rock climbers, so there's definitely some parts where you're holding on to roots and, climbing up and down into river valleys, and it was a little bit more remote, it felt like. So
Lincoln and I are wandering through, and I said to him, we looked over at you guys, and I was like, well, they look like they could be TA trampers. You got your shoes on for a start.
Yeah.
Look at those shoes. I've got to take a photo of your shoes, Pippa. They have been trashed.
New, I feel like. Those are from Hamilton, which
Really?
brand new in Hamilton.
Star date 8th of January 2018. Driving around the streets of Ponsonbury in the city of Dogleg. So what's going on, Bruce? What is this medical intervention? What is this going down? Well, what's happened is essentially over the course of 2 sections of the trail, the 1,200 kilometres I've done, my urine on 3 occasions has been literally jet black, and on 1 occasion in these 2 periods of time was bright red, so straight fresh blood. And so essentially what I've been doing is I've been allowing myself to get dehydrated. So I'm a bit more onto it these days, but through the course of investigating this phenomenon, which is not uncommon. I looked it up online, and endurance athletes get it. Dehydration causes it, and anticoagulant medications can cause it, which I take because I had my open heart surgery less than 2 years ago. I had my ascending aorta was cut out of my chest, having been found to be in aneurysm, which means it's expanding and it's going to explode, basically. So, and my brother died of an aneurysm in his groin. So finally, when I was up in Auckland for my son's wedding and stayed on for Christmas, I went to the doctor, got sent for a scan of my kidney to see if there was something around kidney stones. They checked my abdomen and also my bladder. I have a small mass, it turns out, very small mass in my bladder, in the lining of my bladder. So I'm going in for a medical procedure tomorrow. A laparoscopic surgeon is going to go in and send something up me old fella with a telescope and a little implement and cut this out. So I'm off trail for about a week for that to mend, and the results of any biopsy or whatever come back show that it's all sweet, then I'm back into it. If it doesn't show that it's all sweet, I'll make my mind up on how I take that. I'm not just going to go with what I'm told. As I say, I subscribe to natural healing processes as well as Western medicine, so I'm not feeling freaked out by this. I shall wait. It doesn't mean I'm, being ignorant about it. I shall wait until results happen. So that's what the kind of the dog leg in this particular part of my Te Araroa adventure is at this point in time. So we're pretty much in countdown mode, I think, and just on standby to get walked down to the theatre. I'm going to the theatre, yeah, I love this play. Oh, it's not a play. Oh, I'm the lead actor. No, actually, the bloody surgeon and anaesthetist, I think they're the lead actors. I'm just a little bit player. It's like one of those shows where they have a rotating cast, guest performers come in each week. I'm just one of the guest performers. But that's my whole career as an actor. I've never had a core cast role. I've only ever come in for 2 episodes of anything, or 1 episode, and I've never been a lead role. I've always been the bloody guest role. You come in and you can never make a living out of acting because, you're only getting 4 days work at a time or 3 days work at a time, and you can't be in that series again because you've already played one little character. So bugger this little, I want to be the lead role. So here we are. I have no idea what time it is, but I actually love general anaesthetic. It's such a bizarre feeling. So I have woken up, I've been wheeled back into my room, starting to feel like I would like to have my first post-op pee. So that's going to be interesting. But it's all over. There you bloody go. Let's wait for the result.
Morning, Mr. Hopkins. Well, it all went very well, and we found in the bladder one small superficial bladder cancer, and that's been completely removed, which is good news. The main thing is that it was just on the surface layer of the bladder and had not gone through the wall. So this sort of a thing is a nuisance, and it can recur. It's a bit like gorse, but it's no threat to you.
I've got gorse inside. Okay.
Well, that's what we think. We have to wait for the lab results to come back to make sure that it is just a slow-growing type rather than an aggressive type. Right. But it's definitely just on the surface and it is not invasive. So you're going to be fine to carry on your journey.
Phew. Yeah. Oh, well, thank you very much, mate. I'll shake your hand on that one. And now for a little light reading material. Post-op instructions for TURP, T-U-R-P, transurethral resection of the bladder tumour. Ensure good oral fluid intake. Drink approximately 2 to 2.5 litres per day to help flush out your bladder and prevent clot forming. There is a risk of bleeding for several weeks after surgery. Your urine may have a pinkish tinge. This should settle after 3 weeks as your body heals. Maintain a regular bowel habit. Avoid constipation, as straining may cause bleeding. Avoid heavy lifting for 4 to 6 weeks. Only lift less than 5 kg for 3 weeks. Bugger off, my pack's 19 kg. Mobilise gently. What? Walking the tararuas. No brisk walking or gym workouts. You kidding me. Compression stockings to be worn for 1 week. They're on at the moment. You are advised not to resume sexual intercourse for 3 weeks, as this may cause bleeding to restart. If there is a bloody stain to any ejaculation, do not be concerned unless it is clearly indicative of fresh bleeding. So, well, that doesn't seem to fit in with my plan of getting back on Aotearoa, does it? What to do? Completely disregard medical advice? It says 3 to 4, but I reckon I'm a quick healer in this situation. Already I can see the change in the colour of my urine as a post-operative. I had one that was fairly blood-ridden, and then there's been another one where a little clot came out, and then it's a little bit clearer. So hopefully there's a little bit of healing already starting to happen. What about you? Tell me about your urine. God. This is the life. I could spend my life in post-operative layup. It's a perfect excuse to watch Netflix. But, because was someone going to come in and go, oh, come on, Bruce, you're watching too much TV. It's like, hey, I just had cancer cut out of me. Give me a break. I'm bleeding out of the penis, Surely I deserve a little respite. It's like if they had told me that when I left school, that here's what lies in your future, Bruce, then I might have given up just back then. But no, I was a good head prefect. No, I wasn't. I was a shit head prefect, actually. I think possibly the worst head prefect Takapuna Grammar has ever had, or will ever have. I was captain of the first 15 at the same time. How much responsibility can a 17-year-old take on? They loaded me up with too much. That's what blew me out. That's why I've never amounted to anything. And I'll do my best to eat healthily and rest up and make sure that I am bloody walking Te Araroa in 10 days. Well, onward, upward, and what did we say? That's right, forever forward.
The Long Way Home is produced by Bruce Hopkins and Justin Gregory. The executive producer is Tim Watkin. The engineer is Jeremy Veal. Subscribe to every episode of The Long Way Home at iTunes or at radionz.co.nz/series. And while you're there, please rate us. That way more people get to hear these stories. If you go to the Long Way Home webpage at rnz.co.nz, you'll find an interactive map that follows Bruce as he walks to Araroa. Bruce is also on Twitter at BruceHop, so get in touch if you've got tips, questions, or can offer him a bed, a meal, or a hot shower along the way. You can also email him at thelongwayhome@radionz.co.nz. As you've just heard, Bruce is in the wars a bit right now, but we're sure he'll be back on trail very soon. Until then, this is The Long Way Home. Whenua, whakapapa, whānau. Follow us.